Hey y'all, welcome back. So when I started planning out our fall decor for this year, the first thing that I kept thinking of was how much I wished that I had a curio cabinet or a bookcase that I could style, because they offer so many different options when it comes to vignettes and art displays and things like that. And other than the library stand that I have from my grandparents' home, I don't really have a lot of those types of pieces. I do have our hutch in the dining room, but as far as in the living room, and I don't have the floor space for any new pieces of furniture, but I do have some wall space that has been giving me fits trying to figure out what to do with it. So what I ended up doing was I went into our garage and I found that we had a ton of scrap 2x4s left over from when I built my daughter's loft bed a few months back. And I was able to take those and build this narrow hutch-like cabinet, if you will, to hang over the side of our sofa. The only thing that I ended up having to buy brand new for it was a 2-foot by 4-foot piece of birch plywood, 1/4 inch thick, to use as the backing. I had some of it left over from another project. We do a lot of projects around here, but I didn't have quite enough to finish the back side of it. The cabinet measures 3 feet by 4 feet, and it's about, of course, 4 inches in thickness as far as the depth for where I can style things, except for the bottom shelf, which I ended up stripping another 2x4 down and was able to create kind of a ledge around the bottom, which now allowed me to be able to put books up there. It would be the proper thickness to be able to accommodate a book or a stack of books. So I'm excited about that. So of course, when it came to how to style it, the first thing I did was I shopped our house. I looked for as many pieces of narrow decor, things that wouldn't take up much space, things that would actually fit within that 4-inch space that I have on the shelving. And so of course I went for my frames. I went for some of my grandma's old books. They're smaller in size, so they will definitely fit on that bottom shelf. I also went and grabbed some candlesticks and some other various thrifted decor that I have had. And then I ended up running to another local thrift store, not named Goodwill, and I picked up just a few extra pieces that I think are going to be so beautiful. The first one I found is this sweet little, I'm guessing it's a guinea. That's my thought. Isn't that so pretty? And it is small enough that it'll fit on the shelf. I've already checked it out. And then I found this tiny little candlestick. I love it so much. It's the perfect size. I think it's just about 4 inches in diameter, so it's a perfect fit. And then I ended up picking up this sweet little one of these folding frames. I'm not quite sure what we're going to put in it just yet, but I think it'll be really cute to style with. And then lastly, for 49 cents, I ended up finding this sweet little hurricane. And I was thinking I could probably put like a pine cone in it. It does have a little bit of etching detail. I really don't know how much you guys can see of that. I'm sure once I style it on the shelf, you'll be able to see it a little bit better. And then lastly, I ended up having a couple of pieces of art printed out at a local office supply store. One of the pieces was sourced from the Smithsonian's open access website, and I will link that in the show notes. And the other two I ended up purchasing off of Etsy. They cost me $1 a piece to print out at Office Depot, and I did it on a matte cardstock, and I like the finish of it. I tend to do some of these projects kind of at the last minute, so I don't always have time to send them out to be printed out, which I would love to do later on, to have them printed on an even more high quality paper. But for now, this works perfectly fine. I'm going to use a piece of foam core to map them to the back of the frame, and that'll just give it a little bit of added stability. So now that we've talked about all of the different elements that I'm going to use to style the cabinet, let's just start decorating.
Without a doubt, I feel my most inspired this time of year. There is just something about the Burr months that gets my creative juices flowing in hyper speed. And for better or worse, it can be hard to turn it off. Much like my fall decor last year, this autumn I'm embracing warmer, moodier tones, dried naturals, pine cones and branches from our yard, a few easy DIYs, and of course an array of thrifted treasures. I love a collected look, and this cabinet offers me so many opportunities for arranging cozy vignettes that lean into that collected cottage look. I ended up deciding to create some silhouette art for this little folding frame that I thrifted. I just tore out a couple pages from a thrifted book and used the frame backing to trace out the exact shape that I needed. The child silhouettes that I used were just stock images that I found online. I traced them out using the software for my Silhouette Cameo and then had them cut out. I used scrap black vinyl for the silhouettes, and I love the way that it looks against the book pages. I think this will even be able to carry through into my Halloween decor as well. This was such an easy little DIY, and I think it will add tons of charm to the cabinet. Thank you all so much for watching this week's video. Styling this cabinet has inspired me even more to continue decorating our home for the season that I love most of all. And you'll have to stop by next week to see what we decorate next. Plus, did I mention next week is the 1-year anniversary of this channel? I'm filled with so much excitement and pride just thinking about it. So thank you all for being a part of it, and I will see you next week. Bye now.